last speaker gave us concerning TV coverage of travelling by hand, empathy can be generated at second hand, and it may be more powerful when people are far apart. I'm going to ask, firstly, what the comparative is in this debate and why our side wins, secondly, what the practical outcomes are on this side, why we win, and secondly, the principal reasons to vote on. We say that ultimately the metric in this debate must be robust development outcomes. You get more of them on our side perhaps, because we harness self-interest whereby business can be used to generate funds which trickle down throughout the whole economy, and because if you don't harness self-interest, you harness existing altruism. All their discussion about altruistic charitable people stay on our side of the house. They certainly don't win that. Okay, we know that in all cases, this is on the comparison for my first point, we know that in all cases where wealthy people feel threatened, they leave. For example, white flight in urban USA, right? But that's okay, because Close and Gov say that they live in a gated community, and they're going to stay in Manila, so that's all right. We actually told you the rationale, whereby where people feel threatened, it is highly logical for them to remove themselves from that situation. We think that wealthy, high-achieving people are supremely rational, they'll probably move. Even if they don't move, right? Even if they stay in other wealthy communities, but there's going to be similar forms of economic apartheid, welfare suburbs. Why does that matter? Because they said, well, when everyone moves to the different wealthy suburbs, then the rich will mix with the ordinary. Firstly, it was asserted, they never proved to us, why the CEO of Oxfam, who currently doesn't buy his own children's Christmas presents, will now start to pop down to the shops for a bottle of water. That doesn't happen. Secondly, we say that walls are not the reason that Shell employees in Lagos don't mix with ordinary people. It's things like the cultural similarity. And once it's you like, that will continue. But we do know that what happens in wealth flight, which we think is the likely outcome, right? The possible outcome, is that the most capable people leave that city, that neighbourhood, and possibly that country. They're highly successful, so it's rational that they demand quality. And it's also rational that they demand a good quality of life as a calculation in their bonus package. So companies continue to wish their employees to have a good quality of life. But because these people are the most influential, aspirational, highly achieving, and able to take risks, we need them on our side of the house. We need them even if it's immoral to have gated communities, even if it's a little bit icky. We'd rather have them in the country, spending their money developing their quality. Okay, so we would keep them at all costs. Why is it important that they feel safe? Okay, it doesn't matter if gated communities are more or less safe. If they perceive themselves to be in a state of security, they're more able to take risks. If that white person happens to be the CEO of the National Development Bank, that's good for the nation. Imagine, we say that personal psychology dictates macro policy outcomes. And if I feel safe and comfortable, I'm more likely to do my job. I'm not going to divert labour hours to worrying about there being a break in that night. I'm going to concentrate on improving the economy and on generating more aid. Okay. We also say that economic apartheid is just as bad, and you never prove it. They say it's not okay for people to feel unsafe. Agreed. But the reality is that government never established how the poor will access any more utility. Maybe some people in a different part of town will get jobs as maids in the wealthy suburbs, but the wealthy suburbs probably already bus in their labour from townships. They're just moving the problem. And they also said that it's bad to stay, you feel safe in a gated community. Okay, maybe that normative claim is undesirable. They never analysed why that is the case. And furthermore, if the caricature is the problem, once again, they don't solve it all up. You now have a caricature of the wealthy suburbs. We said class shouldn't exist. We say, yeah, it's constructed. That's fine. The reality, it does exist. It does dictate economic realities. And we're going to live in the real world. So secondly, on practical outcomes, we say the metric is what produces more robust development outcomes. Okay, do you need physical integration between communities to generate change? No. TV coverage of typing Miami, people donating in the millions. Secondly, existing incentive structures, where people feel that they can benefit from self-interest, because let's say I'm the CEO of being in Lagos, where they feel that they can simply benefit their own families and the people that they love by making a lot of money in the country. They will. That money will disperse by whatever means, whether they employ maids, wherever they are living. We want to keep as many people in the country as possible, and even if a few people leave South Africa, let's say, on their side of the house, because they are worried about their safety, that's less money in the nation, right? If that happens even once, that's a manifest harm. But we say, to the contrary, gated communities are brilliant, because, they make people feel safe, and they make them believe that life there can change. You get trickle-down diplomacy, because when they go back for business meetings in New York, they say, South Africa's great, I feel very safe, I have a Western quality life. You should invest there. You should consider moving here and working here for another firm. And that has real outcomes, and that spreads around the world. Now then they said, now the rich will take public transport and see the poor. Right? No, you don't get contact with public infrastructure realities if you're a rich person. One, because they don't exist. And secondly, because moving usually on the outside because government policy likes relocating them. Even if they did, that's not going to mean that they will lobby for more public works projects like Gov told us, because firstly, that's really inefficient mechanism. But secondly, like, they're not going to lobby for public works projects, because that's not where you begin. You say the main place you begin with development in countries with fragile infrastructure and corruption and bad government is foreign direct investment. So like trying to use this mad and long-winded mechanism to get people to lobby the government won't be effective, because government doesn't do anything for people anyway. We just want to keep them feeling rich and safe and buying lots of nice things. Okay, we also say this creates backlash. First off, here.
We were pointing out that people are still going to live there, even if they're living in different communities, they're there for the good type of plan. Last touch point on her second point. Gated communities reinforce the cultural separation between rich and poor, scattering the notion of one nation, which ruins our culture.
Actually, I try to understand it. Okay, well then it's more, no, we say that intermixture is not inherently good, right? Intermixture and integration is valuable if it has mutual benefit, because then it's sustainable. In the short term, these Western people will feel good, and then there will be backlash. That will produce bad PR, and expat women in South Africa will feel terrified and resentful, and may well leave. If not, it will generate bad feelings. We say bad feelings is the opposite of altruism and empathy. You actually get more empathy on our side of the house when the person feels safe to contemplate what it would be like for another person to live. They said poor people learn helplessness from the side of gated communities. Maybe they learn anger. Maybe they see the constatations of discrimination, and then they lobby for change. Like, we're okay with that. We don't think gated communities are morally perfect. They may serve as a useful motivation for agitation, and that's fine. We just want outcomes. Briefly on principles, so gated communities are not utopian. They do reflect realities, but we want to catalyse real development outcomes. And if people feel angry, that's fine. Okay? We also say that, they said the rich only contribute to the gated economy. Actually, they run it. They actually give back all the time through high taxes. They said there'd be redistributed tax codes. Then they said they all have Swiss bank accounts. Which is it, guys? We say that gated communities don't produce two nations, structural division does. You don't solve that on our side of the house. We recognise the reality. Deceiving themselves to be safe means they spend more money, they do better jobs, and they create better outcomes for ordinary people in those jobs. We better